You were quiet during the whole trip in the hansom, Holmes. I'm curious to know what you might have said to the director.
Simply to reveal nothing to the public and claim that the appearance of a strange mildew on certain paintings has forced the museum to close. This quarantine will permit us to avoid the press from aggravating this already embarrassing situation.
But if Lupin pursues his scandalous idea and actions, we won't be able to silence all of the talk that will ensue all over the city.
Exactly, Watson. All we're doing is giving ourselves a bit of time. From here on out, we must win this strange game, Watson. Lupin won the first round and has thrown me headfirst into this business because if he succeeds, my name will eternally be associated with this adventure and synonymous with failure.
But you'll get the upper hand, won't you, Holmes?
We'll see, Watson, that we will.
Who goes there?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend Dr. Watson. We are here at this late hour to meet with the Chief Warder. A recent event has led us to believe that some harm may befall the security of the buildings and goods under his responsibility.
Stay here and wait a moment. Above all, do not deface the walls.
I must await the guard's return. I'm the detective, not the robber.
So, Holmes, what are we doing?
I must await the guard's return. I'm the detective, not the robber. I must await the guard's return. I'm the detective, not the robber. I must await the guard's return. I'm the detective, not the robber.
Good evening, gentlemen. I am Smith, the Chief Warder. Pardon me, but did you tell the guard that you are Sherlock Holmes?
Indeed, I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson.
Incredible, Mr. Holmes. What a strange coincidence that.
It is not a matter of coincidence in this case. I am here because something that you hold within these walls has disappeared. I was hoping to arrive in time to prevent this from happening, but I fear we are too late.
Are there 6?
Watson, I am certain that the Chief Warder will answer all of our questions as he brings us to the scene of the crime.
I will indeed. If you would come this way. Thank you for your discretion, Mr. Holmes. If word got out, the consequences would be disastrous. On that note, I would like to know who warned you. Apart from the Raven Master, I thought no one else knew.
Based on what you've told me, you should have assumed that someone else was fully informed of the situation. The same person who warned me. The very person who stole the ravens.
I beg your pardon?
It's much too long a story to relate, and time is not on our side. The basic facts of the matter are as follows. The man who stole the ravens has contemplated more than just your embarrassment. Your ravens will most certainly not be recaptured, not tonight, nor tomorrow. We must act accordingly. We'll claim that the birds are under quarantine for health reasons. You and the Raven Master must also confine yourselves and not talk to anyone, but continue your business as if nothing happened. Now, tell me what happened.
It's very simple. An hour ago at most, at nightfall, the Raven Master found me at my desk. He was quite agitated. The ravens had disappeared. As he was attempting to catch the last of the ravens to return it to the cage for the night, the black silhouette which he was chasing flew off. The ravens normally have their wings clipped. This bird then began to sing a little jingle, then flew swiftly away towards one of the buildings. The Raven Master then did a tour of the fortress and noticed that the ravens had disappeared and were replaced.
Incredible!
And where is the Raven Master?
He is confined to his bed at present, and I am quite concerned due to his age. Mr. Holmes, we can't keep this matter secret forever. The ravens must be returned as soon as possible.
Indeed, there is a chance, as the thief certainly left some clues behind, quite possibly voluntarily. Without sounding vain, I do believe I am the only one who is capable of taking advantage of them. Where are the ravens normally during the day?
In the field facing the entrance to the White Tower. You can get there through this door. I was just there and noticed this black envelope on the ground. I haven't opened it yet.
Give it to me. Do you have a lantern you could lend us?
Yes, I can give you mine. Here, I can also give you a map of the site. I'm sure you will find it handy.
Indeed. I'm already starting to feel disoriented here.
I will inform the service personnel that your presence here is authorized and that they are to assist you in any way possible. I will try to join you later. However, I must also prepare for the ceremony of the keys.
Watson, the game is afoot again.
What are we to do, Holmes?
Chase 6 birds, Watson.
Chase? There must be a shotgun or two here, Holmes. Why can't we mix business with pleasure for once?
One missed shot, and the bird flies off and never returns, taking England's dignity with it. Can you handle that kind of pressure, Watson?
Well?
Exactly, Watson. Now, let's listen to their calls and find whence they originate. Seed husks, it would appear. Lupin must have lured the ravens and then caught them one after the other. The famous White Tower.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs. Impossible to scour. These shrubs are impenetrable. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it.
Evening, governors. You the investigator Chief told us about? He told me to go round and spot you, but see, I was at a shag, and with it being a shilling a pack and all, there was no reason to inform Scotland Yard.
What happened to your pack of tobacco?
Heading back to the barracks, it fell down, didn't it? I shone me lantern down on it, and this black thing swooped out the shrubs and nicked it. Since then, it won't stop its chattering.
Fancy that. What did the pack look like?
Oh, 'twas a bright blue pack. An anchor on the front too. I won't be giving you a reward for its return though, eh? Just so's we're clear.
I don't expect to find it, my friend. Good night.
That's that then. Good night.
Impossible to scour. These shrubs are impenetrable. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it. Impossible to scour. These shrubs are impenetrable. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it. A bird is hiding in one of the trees. Its song is quite lovely. This bird is apprehensive. I mustn't get too close, otherwise I run the risk of it flying off and never returning. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it. This bird is apprehensive. I mustn't get too close, otherwise I run the risk of it flying off and never returning. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it.
The bird, Holmes. There it is.
This bird is apprehensive. I mustn't get too close, otherwise I run the risk of it flying off and never returning. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it. This feather was dyed black.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs. Hold on. The most recent footprints on the ground correspond exactly with those that I found in the National Gallery, in the soil from the pot. Those of Lupin. These footprints are size 9.
Ah, I was looking all over for you. Have you found anything that will put you on the trail of the missing ravens?
We are making progress. Tell me, what is behind this door?
It's the storeroom.
Do you have the key for this door?
I can open it, but you won't get far. A grill is blocking the entrance, and Pitt, our cook, thought it would be a good idea to put on a combination lock.
Can you find the cook?
It's just that tonight is his night off. He could be in one of countless pubs in London, and he won't be back until tomorrow, just in time to prepare our tea.
That's unfortunate. Do you have the code for the lock?
No, having nothing to do in this area, I do not know the code.
Obviously, no chance.
Wait, I seem to remember that the code to open the lock has something to do with one of his ancestors. Listen, I can give you the key to his apartment. It's just to the right of the storeroom. If you find something, it will save time. I'll explain it when he gets back.
I thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Smith. I will return everything to its proper place. Closed. This letter is very interesting. It's a shame the envelope is missing. McAdams family. I've seen that name somewhere.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs. What singular tracks these are. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it.
Does that tell you anything, Holmes?
What singular tracks these are. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it.
Does that tell you anything, Holmes?
Nice faience plate.
What the devil are you up to, Holmes?
This may prove to be useful. A few drops of red wax. They are from the jars of tomatoes. This may prove to be useful.
Look, Holmes, jars of tomatoes from Italy. They must be delicious.
All of these products are stamped with the royal coat of arms. Closed. This door is locked, and unlike Lupin, I am not a master lockpick. Sunflower seeds. They are a delicacy to certain birds. All of these products are stamped with the royal coat of arms. Closed. This door is locked, and unlike Lupin, I am not a master lockpick. This chicken was painted black. The message written on this paper is illegible.
It seems so simple, Holmes.
A dirty sock. rather unsavoury.
A sock that was left behind. What scandal! One of the guards deserves a punishment.
We have more important things to deal with, Watson. Interesting. A camera with a magnesium flash. This may prove to be useful. A box of munitions, empty.
What the devil are you up to, Holmes?
This collection of weapons is impressive. If I want to attract a bird with this call, I must know which bird to call. It could be that none of the calls will correspond. This part is dedicated to medieval hunting. This space is dedicated to the Navy. This may prove to be useful. Oh, this may prove to be useful. This bird is apprehensive. I mustn't get too close, otherwise I run the risk of it flying off and never returning. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it. This bird is black like a raven, but its morphology is completely different. What type of bird is it then? It's definitely a partridge. Catch it now. The message written on this paper is illegible.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs. What singular tracks these are. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it.
Does that tell you anything, Holmes?
No, I don't have enough items to attract this bird.
Will you ever explain it to me, Holmes?
If you had read the reference work on birds carefully, you would know that we are dealing with a blue bird of paradise, my dear Watson.
It seems so simple, Holmes.
No, I don't have enough items to attract this bird. The message written on this paper is illegible.
Well done, Holmes.
closed.
I hear a bird, Holmes.
You are right, Watson. Come, we'll have to climb to the wall walk.
I hear a bird, Holmes.
You are right, Watson. Come, we'll have to climb to the wall walk. I believe a bird on the roof was speaking, but I don't understand what it said. I must find a way to approach it.
Do you hear it, Holmes?
I hear a strange screech behind this door, but the sound is weak. This door is securely closed. Perhaps Smith could open it. Watson, could you fetch him?
Understood, Holmes. There, look, it's here. We can hear a strange noise from behind this door, but it's locked.
Ah, this door.
Can you open it?
Certainly. To be honest, I was scared you'd bring me here. It's one of the oldest rooms in the fortress. Possibly dates back to before the official construction, because, as you know, Roman ruins were originally on this spot. It's a sinister spot in which we made some gruesome discoveries. We would have preferred to condemn it. The men were scared half to death.
Gruesome discoveries?
It appears to be Latin, Watson. The inscription is almost completely worn off. Hanging above is a shield that we can't identify. These heraldic shields are almost completely obliterated. These heraldic shields are almost completely obliterated. The screeches are coming from this crack and seem to echo. Without a doubt, there is a room behind this wall, but there is no visible entrance.
The corner of this stone was a bit broken, and we tried to enlarge it with a pick. However, the stone is too hard, and having seen what was underground, we didn't want to pursue the endeavour. Who knows what is hidden behind the wall?
It's hardly more visible, and it will take me hours to translate them as they are so foreign to me.
Wait, I think I've already seen that coat of arms on one of our antique shields in the arms room. I seem to recall that Brigadier Metcalf explained the symbolism of these arms. If you show it to him, I'm sure he could share that information with you. He's either doing his rounds, or you'll find him in the dormitory.
I'll take care of it, Watson. Stay here and see if you can make anything out of the Latin inscription.
You're too kind, Holmes. Go on, then.
This shield resembles that of the crypt. It appears quite old. Closed.
Who goes there?
Holmes, Sherlock Holmes. Are you Brigadier Metcalfe?
That's me.
I've been informed that you know the origin of the coat of arms on this heraldic shield.
Indeed. I'm no expert on the subject, but I do dabble in the Middle Ages. In short, I know that it's the coat of arms of the Round Table.
Thank you.
Think nothing of it. Back to my rounds.
I have no reason to go there. It appears that the coat of arms is that of the Round Table. Strange, don't you think? No doubt the coats of arms on either side are those of knights or other heroes from Camelot. My intuition suggests that the Latin inscription is connected. Mr. Smith, would you have a book on King Arthur, Camelot, or the Round Table around here?
No, I'm sorry, and there's no chance that any member of the staff would have one in their own possession.
Watson, you must return to Baker Street and find Barnes, the bookseller. He usually works late, sometimes throughout the night it seems, ever since we brought him back that book from New Orleans. If he isn't there, find him somehow and ask him to open his store. A reference work that can help us will certainly be found there. As for me, I'll stay here to decipher this cryptic inscription.
As you wish, Holmes.
One of the guards can take you in a cart, Dr. Watson.
Very good, Mr. Smith. You take care of that, then return to see me. I will most assuredly need your knowledge of the place.
It's most assuredly closed. How will I find Barnes? I thought he lived above his shop. Perhaps if I called out. Barnes? Barnes! Barnes! Barnes!
Hey, are you thick? You'll end up spending the night in a cell if you keep this up. Such a racket at this hour. Hey, I recognise you. You're the detective's dog's body. I guess that with that coin I gave you, you bought yourself a keg of beer.
Listen, young man, I am not a servant, I am a doctor. And the reason I am shouting at the top of my lungs is not because I am under the effects of alcohol, but because it is required by an affair the importance of which a mere pencil pusher such as yourself could not possibly begin to fathom.
I'll beg of you, keep quiet, your lordship. I was merely trying to help your lordship avoid a disagreement with the police force. It is rather curious that a person of such standing as your lordship is howling in the middle of the night in order to hunt down a second-rate bookseller.
Yes, I see. Well, since you seem to know everything, doesn't Barnes the bookseller live up there, on top of his shop?
Would his lordship pardon me, but I'm a journalist, not a good Samaritan. You see, I sell my information, and you haven't named a price yet.
I have a few coins. Is it...
I don't need your coppers, Doctor. Whatever is inside there isn't worth a yawn. But we could come to an arrangement if you give me your word as a gentleman that you'll help me out some day.
Anything you wish. Well, within reasonable limit, of course.
It won't be anything difficult. All I want is to get a good scoop. Got it?
I'll do what I can, but discretion is vital.
I will be discretion itself. Listen, your friend Barnes had problems with his landlady recently. She claims he's been doing some strange experiments. He screams during the night. There's all kinds of strange odours. In short, 2 days ago, he had to move to a room at the Golden Lion.
In that hideous dive?
That's the place. He's there every night anyway.
But the Golden Lion must be closed at this hour.
Officially, yes. But you'll see...
We're closed.
Go on, Doc. No doubt you'll find your man inside. Until next time, Doctor. And don't forget your promise.
Pardon me, I'm looking for someone. I've been told...
That don't interest me, mister. Here, I serve drinks and you drink 'em, that's all. When you start looking, you end up finding trouble here. So, what'll it be?
Excuse me, sir.
Shh, keep it down, mate. You'll blow me cover.
You're what?
Me cover, you deaf or how?
But why a cover?
Because I'm a bobby, on the lowdown, hush-hush and all that.
You don't say.
It's a fact. I know everything about everyone, I do.
But why a cover?
Because I'm a bobby, on the lowdown, hush-hush and all that.
You don't say.
It's a fact. I know everything about everyone, I do.
I would assume that a professional of the police force such as yourself must know where to find Barnes. You know, the bookseller on Glentworth Street.
Look behind the door at the back, near the bar.
I'll take my leave then.
Fine, but shh.
Hey, you there! Where do you think you're going?
Pardon me, I'm looking for someone. I've been told...
Scram, you drunkard!
Battered? You rat!
Here, take my handkerchief, miss.
Thank ye, sire. You are a real gentleman, don't you know? And handsome too, what with your glad rags and all, so swanky. I've got a few nice threads myself. Perhaps we could get a little drink and I could show you my room.
No, thank you.
I don't please you. I'm too skinny. That's it, isn't it?
No, not at all. Well, somewhat. But that isn't the problem. I'm looking for a friend, and I was told that he was behind the door at the back, but the barkeep won't let me through.
You need someone to vouch for you to get in there.
What's wrong? Is something the matter?
Listen, love, you been swell, but I'm out of brass to buy my fix. So either you help me pay my debt with Luigi, and I get you through that door, or you get out of my way. Got it?
Poor child. She's a ghost. If Holmes could see her, he'd understand the horror of his vice. Let me think. Perhaps I could find something at our lodgings to alleviate the child's suffering and make her open the door. I'll leave you now, miss. He must have noticed that I was diluting his hidden vials and wanted to prevent me from doing so. It's the one time in my life that I have proven to be stronger than my friend Holmes. Alas, I cannot boast about it to him, for who knows what his reaction might be.
love? Did your fine gent find something hidden under his mattress then?
No, but I have something in this vial that will prevent you from suffering tonight. And here's my card. My name is Dr. Watson. You must promise to visit me at my office next Monday. Together we can find a solution to your problem, dear child. First, however, I must pass through this door.
Say, Eddie, this gent is one of my pals. One of the guys will pledge for him. He's in the mood for a bit of fun. Let him through, will you?
I'll leave you now, miss.
Dr. Watson, what are you doing here?
I've been looking for you, Barnes. You must open your shop for me.
Out of the question, Doctor. I've bet all of my money and then some on this title. And if I leave the table right now, who knows if someone will try to cheat me? Go, Ginger!
But why are you gambling to begin with? It's not like you at all.
Go, Ginger! I needed a large sum of money for the new experiments. I heard about this place, and I almost lost everything on the dogfight. But the turtles stayed true, and I'll win it back. Go, Ginger, go! Oh, no!
Come on, Barnes, time to pay up.
It's just that, you see, I'm broke, Dr. Watson. Could you loan me some money?
Fine. How much does he owe you?
£81 and sixpence.
How much?
I'll pay you back, Dr. Watson, in a few weeks. Or a few months.
In a few years. I don't have the money presently, but I would be happy to sign a promissory note.
Tough luck. I want cash. Find me some, or your little friend will never see the light of day again.
Please, Doctor, I beg you.
So, Doctor, have you finally found your friend? What's going on? It would seem that I've found some news.
This poor sod is in it for £80. I've given him credit for a week now. I want my dough.
But this gentleman is Dr. Watson. He's well known throughout the area. He should be able to guarantee...
Not bloody likely. Cash or nothing doing.
If I understood properly, Doctor, you must take Barnes from here to save his life as well as solve your own problem?
Exactly. But it seems that may not be advisable.
Say, mister, can I speak to you in private?
Can do. Got it. Doc, it could be that I'd be happy with, I don't know, some jewellery, for example, some nice trinkets, a trophy or a medal.
Dr. Watson will certainly find something appropriate. Not to worry. I'll wait for you here, Doctor, to ensure that nothing happens to your friend Barnes.
I'll do my best. You, Barnes, deserve to be left at the mercy of these rogues. Where will I find something to give to these rogues? Yes, the only solution is to search our lodgings for something to pay the thugs from the Golden Lion with. Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic language of the Cornish people. And here, medieval pottery. Holmes has an interesting taste in reading. This is how Holmes organises his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that. Holmes's makeup and accessories. With the help of this, his disguises are very impressive. Holmes's makeup and accessories. With the help of this, his disguises are very impressive. A scandal in Bohemia. Holmes's very first adventure. But why is he keeping this journal? Holmes is not the type to archive his past adventures. Oh, the photo of Irene Adler. I'm not surprised that Holmes kept it. To him, she is the only woman. He perceives her as being so superior to the rest of her sex that he can't even speak her name. Could he have felt something close to love for her? Who knows? The Order of the Legion of Honor bestowed upon Holmes. I don't see anything other than that. Good God, if he notices it is missing. Tomorrow I will have to buy it back from those crooks once I have found the necessary funds.
So, Doc, did you find the miracle drug that'll stop your patient from dying?
Enough, you rascal. I'll return tomorrow to buy it back.
Plus interest, you hear?
Thank you, Doctor. 1,000 thanks.
You're a good guy, Doctor. A real saviour.
Now, Barnes, you must open your shop without further delay.
I don't know how to thank you, Doctor. How can I help you? Tell me what you need, and I'll have it for you within the hour.
I need the most in-depth reference work you have on the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur, with heraldic illustrations if possible.
Certainly. I think I have something somewhere. It's very rare, but I don't recall exactly where it is.
Well, let's look for it together. Here, chivalry and spiritualism. Can we turn the round table? This is it, am I right?
Ah, yes, that's the one. A very rare and thorough book.
I'll take it. You can deduct it from the amount that you still owe me, Barnes. I must be off, and...
Wait, Dr. Watson. I just wanted to say before you left. Wait, where did I put it? There. A moment, please. The book in which you're interested is an extremely rare edition. My records show that its price is 98 quid 9p. It's a beautiful book. Quite rare, that.
It's your good luck that I'm in a hurry, Barnes. Otherwise I'd stuff this book down your throat, all £98 and 9p worth.
There you are at last, Watson. You took your time. Do you have what I asked for?
It wasn't without difficulty, but here is a book that will help us.
A worthless book written by an unreliable author. Obviously a remnant that Barnes couldn't sell and presented you free of charge. You need to be charitable on occasion, Watson. That little bookstore could have used a few of your farthings.
If you say so, Holmes.
Fine. This should do the trick. While you were dallying, I was able to translate this inscription. I've just finished, and this is the transcription. This song mentions specific pearl weapons. Watson, stay here to ensure that the creature behind the wall doesn't escape.
Where are you going now, Holmes?
To find the solution to open this door.
Have you found something, Mr. Holmes?
You must be Sherlock Holmes, am I right? The chief told me to help you. What can I do?
Can you help me to identify certain weapons that are found here?
No problem. That's easy. Show them to me, and I'll tell you what they are. These days, we call this a spear. During the Middle Ages, it was called a glaive. This hook is a bec de corbin, or crow's beak as it's sometimes called. It was complemented by a hammer or spike.
These weapons are heavy. I can only take 2 at a time.
It's a bardiche, a type of poleaxe without hooks. A large axe, really. A partisan, a hasta. A guisarme, as everyone knows, resembles a fauchard. A true halberd, a magnificent piece. It's a lucerne hammer. A man-catcher, the ideal weapon against a Frenchman. Come, Mr. Holmes, that, quite simply, is a sword. A morning star, a club-like weapon, quite popular with the English army. These days, we call this a spear. During the Middle Ages, it was called a glaive. This hook is a bec de Corbin, or crow's beak as it's sometimes called. It was complemented by a hammer or spike. It's a Lucerne hammer. A guisarme, as everyone knows, resembles a fauchard. It's a bardiche, a type of poleaxe without hooks. A large axe, really. A partisan, a hasta. This hook is a bec de Corbin, or crow's beak as it's sometimes called. It was complemented by a hammer or spike. A morning star, a club-like weapon, quite popular with the English army. Come, Mr. Holmes, that, quite simply, is a sword.
Well done, Holmes. It's a bat, Holmes.
Indeed, Watson, it is scared of our light, as many members of its species are. It will be very hard to attract it and even harder to capture it. If only we could disorient it. Perhaps by pointing a beam to flash a bright light at it. Listen, stay here and prevent it from escaping while I go look. This instrument will give me a strong, bright light. Watch out! Protect your eyes!
You got it, Holmes. And as a bonus, you got a nice photograph also.
What do you suggest I do with a photograph of a bat, Watson?
Give it to Sergeant Wayne. It's his camera.
The animal is holding a small piece of paper between its paws. The message written on this paper is illegible. I believe a bird on the roof was speaking, but I don't understand what it said. I must find a way to approach it.
Here, little one. Tweet. Come, eat the seeds. Come, little one.
What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
He keeps asking what his name is. This bird seems to be remarkably well trained. How can I find your name?
Beautiful but impish. You search for her name. Long ago, on you she played a trick. Or was it your heart that she did prick? German bird or eagle? They're one and the same.
Elementary. The message written on this paper is illegible.
Well done, Holmes.
We are supposed to find 6 birds, and there is one missing. 2 possibilities. Either one of the birds has flown and taken our hopes with it, or, despite our misfortune, there is still a chance that the last bird is completely diurnal and is perched somewhere awaiting the day.
What shall we do, Holmes?
Stay up, Watson, and wait. Wait for the dawn and the first signs of life from the bird. Watson! Watson! I hear a bird's call. It would appear that our prayers were answered. We must seek it quickly, Watson. Incredible. Based on this bird book, it is a Lemergier. I have heard about them, but I have never seen one with my own eyes.
Since you never leave our lodgings, I'm surprised that you've even heard talk of them. Now what?
Lemergier, Watson. If only it was Greek and had a great big turtle.
What?
A turtle, Watson. Have you never heard of Aeschylus the philosopher?
I must still be sleeping. This is all a dream. Maybe the whole thing has been a dream. It must be the side effects of the nightmare I was having. Any moment, Mrs. Hudson will...
Watson, get a hold of yourself, man. You aren't dreaming. Our mission, England's honour.
Holmes, did I really hear you talk about a Greek, bearded vulture, a turtle, and a philosopher all in the same sentence?
Indeed, Watson. Listen carefully. Aeschylus was an ancient Greek philosopher. He had a phobia of enclosed spaces and would never enter a building of any kind. This was as a result of the fact that it was predicted that he would die by being crushed by a roof. Do you know how Aeschylus died, Watson? His skull was smashed by a turtle that fell from the skies. We cannot escape our destiny. A turtle carries its house on its back, and its shell is its roof. But where did this turtle come from, and why did it fall exactly on the head of this poor man? Some would say that it was the divine power attached to the prophecy. There is, however, a more pragmatic explanation. The Lemergier, or bearded vulture, likes to eat the bone marrow from the cadavers of large animals. To extract the marrow, it grabs the bone in its claws and flies to a great height. Then it lets go over a rocky area where the bones smash and split open, giving it a lavish feast. Some of them have been observed in Greece behaving the same way with turtles as they normally do with bones, to get at the flesh. Aeschylus was of an advanced age at the time of his death, and his bald head would have reflected light like a smooth rock. Had he been under the shelter of a house, he would never have been hit with a turtle in the first place. I'll let you ponder the philosophical points of the matter, but coming back to our Lemergier, we'll need some bait and something with which to capture the beast.
Holmes, I will take care of finding a turtle. I'll return as soon as possible.
Really, Watson? I commend your industry and valour. That leaves me to find something to trap it.
However, Holmes, would you happen to have a few quid on you?
No, but you can make a detour via Baker Street. There must be at least 10 sovereigns hidden in our lodgings. Just a little memory exercise that I set up. At the boredom, you know.
Strange place to stow money. A sovereign. Perfect. Strange place to stow money. Ha ha! A sovereign. Elementary, my dear Holmes. Strange place to stow money. A sovereign. Perfect. Ha ha! A sovereign. Elementary, my dear Holmes. Strange place to stow money. Strange place to stow money. A sovereign. Perfect. Ha ha! A sovereign. Elementary, my dear Holmes. How much for one of these turtles?
The champion isn't within your means, chap. The loser will set you back 10 sovereigns.
How much for one of these turtles?
The champion isn't within your means, chap. The loser will set you back 10 sovereigns.
No, I have nothing to ask him.
While you wait, Watson, I need something big with which to catch the lammergeier. It's a rather large bird. This net would be perfect if it wasn't in such a pitiful state. I'll need some string to repair it. This string is perfect. I'll get to work while I await Watson.
Here's your turtle, Holmes.
Watson, you impress me. This specimen will be ideal. I need to find somewhere to put it down, Watson. Stand back, Watson, as we wait for our bearded friend to descend.
I hope you'll be able to catch it on the first try, Holmes. Ginger would never forgive me.
Ginger?
Yes, the turtle.
Of course, of course. There's our starving friend, Watson, and the last paper.
At last. I thought we'd never succeed. Now can we head back to our lodgings and sleep for part of the day? We have until this evening.
We are heading back to Baker Street, Watson, but not to sleep. We have time for a meal, and then we must make haste to the next location that we will ascertain with the help of these messages.
But I'm done for, Holmes.
As Arsene said, I think the slain care little if they sleep or rise again. Come, Watson, make haste.
I can no longer take it. Regardless where these papers that were found on those damn birds at the Tower of London lead, you'll be going without me, Holmes. Plus, this business cannot remain secret much longer, and Scotland Yard would like to take over the case again, and I would gladly give it to them.
You are correct, Watson. Even if Chief Warder Smith sent 2/3 of his men on holiday to minimise the risk of leaks, the authorities would be aware with very little delay that something was afoot in London, and they would want to take over the case, as you say. But Scotland Yard is once again facing a strong opponent and is up against a resounding failure. There is no question of my stepping down or even thinking of resting, not while England is being menaced by Arsene Lupin.
As you wish, Holmes. If only I had known that one day you would be giving me lessons in patriotism.
Now, try to figure out the meaning of these messages.
But how, Holmes?
They are illegible, Watson, but as Lupin seems to be a magician when the mood strikes him, it may well be a conjuring trick. Now, try to figure out the meaning of these messages.
But how, Holmes?
They are illegible, Watson, but as Lupin seems to be a magician when the mood strikes him, it may well be a conjuring trick. Elementary.
Incomprehensible yet again.
Nay, Watson, this letter talks of painting amongst other things, and I bet Lupin wants to gain some time by having us strolling around London, but this time I anticipate arriving at the site of the next theft before he does. Watson, you're spent. You must rest this morning, and I'll take care of this alone. I'll come back to collect you around 11 o'clock. I must find something that resembles the description given in the poem. Hello, gentlemen. judging by the calm, our little ploy regarding the mildew has worked.
Indeed. As long as it doesn't work beyond our expectations, and we will get our visitors back when we reopen. So, have you found the Fighting Temeraire?
I must confess not, but we are making progress on the case. Farewell, gentlemen. And here's St. Catherine of Alexandria by Raphael. Here is St. Catherine of Alexandria by Solario. It's St. Catherine of Alexandria by Crivelli. German Gallery. Charity by Lucan Cranach the Elder, canvas loaned to the museum. Look, a Lochner entitled St. Catherine of Alexandria. There, I've made note of the 4 paintings indicated in Lupin's poem. I shall return to Watson and we'll put our heads together.
Holmes has left at last. I'm worn out, but I have no choice. I must take advantage of his absence by recovering his Legion of Honor. I'll make haste to the bank and then attempt to find the crooks to whom I pawned it. There, I've been able to gather a sufficient sum of money. Now to the Golden Lion. Couldn't pay attention. Closed. Tell me, my good man, do you remember me? Last night I was in the next room where I pawned an object that I have come to buy back. Where can I find those concerned?
Just where do you think you are? In the Duchess's front parlour? If there ain't nobody, it's 'cause there ain't nobody, and I don't know no more than that. We don't ask questions here, we drink and shut it.
It's a scandal. You'll hear from me, Mr.
Shh. I'm a secret wall with ears. Shh.
Why, Doctor, what lucky happenstance? Have you recovered from last night's temper?
Oh, hello there. It's lucky that I have found you here. I've collected the amount necessary to buy back the medal that I pawned yesterday. You look like someone who might know the ruffians who were holding the bookseller. Do you know where I could find them?
You aren't serious, I hope. I don't know them any better than you. Earlier in the evening, I had them round in hopes of gleaning a few morsels, but that's all. I had thought that you, like me, had bluffed, and that your trinket wasn't worth a nicker. By this time, it has certainly been melted and sold as bullion. At best, it's still in the window of a pawnbroker's.
What are you telling me? You're going to tell me where I can find these rogues and the medal. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in the thick of it, because I've got friends in high places. I do.
Why, Doctor, you're acting like a common thug. I, who have done everything possible for you.
You must excuse me. I do apologise. How could you know? I seem to have lost my usual aplomb. This case is dragging on, and to top it all off, I have lost my friend's medal.
Don't worry, I've seen worse. As for your head, it's sleep that you need. Your ideas will be much sharper after a rest.
Impossible. My friend will be returning any moment, and then we'll end up I don't know where in London in order to stop... But I've said too much. The men who have the medal, is there any way to find them?
Maybe, but I'll have to call in a few favours, and that takes time. And money.
I have 100 guineas. Will that suffice?
That should do the trick, but I can't guarantee anything. In any case, I'll do all that I can, I promise you, to help retrieve the medal.
Thank you very much.
I'll get to it immediately, but don't forget that you owe me one. Or 3, rather.
Watson, I thought I'd be dragging you out of bed.
I was summoned to visit a patient.
Obviously a hypochondriac.
Eh? Yes. How did you know?
Otherwise you would have taken your medical bag along.
Yes. By Jove, you are clever.
As for the case at hand, which must be our priority, we must find to which treaty is referred in the latest message from Lupin. I just came from the National Gallery, and I think we have all of the elements necessary to formulate an answer. What do you think, Watson?
Your intentions are good, Watson, but you've missed everything of importance.
The Treaty of Alexandria. Exactly, Watson.
Would it not be the one following our victory over Napoleon Bonaparte?
Undoubtedly, Watson, but we need details. I'll go see Barnes. His store wasn't open when I arrived, but it should be now. Rest for a while, and I'll be back soon.
With pleasure, Holmes.
Oh, hello, Mr. Holmes. What can I do for you?
Good day, Barnes. I'm looking for a book that deals with English victories and the subsequent treaties, the Treaty of Alexandria in particular.
You'll have to excuse me, but I am already run off my feet this morning as I need to relabel some of the books. I'll leave you to look for yourself. There must be something in the history shelf near the back.
I found it, Barnes. I'll take it.
Fine, Mr. Holmes. You'll settle up later? You see, it's quite a rare book. Quite dear, too.
Day, Mr. Holmes.
Good day, Ruffles.
I've got a message for you, I have. Direct from the yard. I'm supposed to bring you to Inspector Lestrade quick as can be. There's going to be a right important meeting, there is. The PM himself will be there.
For once, Lestrade is ahead of the game. Listen, Ruffles, in order to save some precious time, will you bring a message to the inspector? Tell him to meet me here with as much of the force as he can muster, but he must be discreet. Do you understand?
Right, Mr. Holmes. I'll be off, I will.
Thank you. Let's head to Baker Street. Up, Watson. It's time.
The wave. No! It will engulf me. The tentacles. Ah!
Come, my friend. That's all finished and behind us. Compose yourself. We have an appointment in half an hour with the Prime Minister.
I'm still dreaming. The Prime Minister.
Here's our next destination, Watson, the British Museum. Come on now, make haste. We're ahead of the game at the moment and we want to remain that way.